Welcome to CyberXplain channel. Today we are going to discuss Access Control Demystified, MAC versus DAC explained. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are diving into something super fundamental to how we keep our digital stuff safe, access control. Think of it like the bouncer at a club, deciding who gets in and what they can do. It's not just about letting people in, it's about making sure the *right people have access to the *right things, and importantly, can't access what they shouldn't. We'll be looking at the core goals, and then breaking down some key models. So, the first big goal we are after with access control is confidentiality. This is all about making sure that sensitive information stays, well, confidential. Think of your private medical records or your company's financial reports. You definitely don't want just anyone peeking at those, right? Access control mechanisms are designed to prevent unauthorized disclosure of data. It's like having a special vault for your most precious items. Next up, we have data integrity. This is just as important. Integrity means that the data is accurate, consistent, and reliable throughout its entire life cycle. Imagine a bank balance. You need to be absolutely sure that the number you see is correct and hasn't been messed with. Access control helps prevent unauthorized modification or deletion of data, ensuring it remains trustworthy. Alright, let's talk about mandatory access control, or MAC. This is where things get pretty strict. In a MAC system, the system itself enforces security policies. It doesn't matter what the data owner wants, the system makes the call. This is super common in environments where classification is paramount, like, say, a military research facility where different levels of clearance are absolutely non-negotiable. The magic behind MAC lies in labels. Every piece of data and every user has a security label. Think of it like top secret, secret, or confidential. The system then compares the user's label, their clearance, with the data's label. If the user's clearance isn't high enough, they simply can't access it, no matter what. This is what we call need to know at its core. So, how does this play out? Imagine a sensitive document marked confidential. A user with a secret clearance might be able to read it, but someone with only a public clearance? Nope, not a chance. The system automatically enforces these rules. This makes MAC incredibly robust for highly secure environments where even a slight deviation could be catastrophic. Let's put MAC into context. Picture a top-secret military research facility. They're developing advanced technology, and the information must be protected at all costs. Here, MAC is essential. A scientist working on Project X needs secret clearance for specific data. The system ensures they can only access files labeled secret or confidential, and definitely not anything labeled top secret unless they have the explicit clearance. The data owner can't just decide to share it with anyone. The system's labels are the ultimate authority. Now, let's switch gears to Discretionary Access Control, or DAC. This is a lot more flexible. With DAC, it's the *owner* of the resource who decides who gets to access it. Think about a file on your personal computer. You decide who you share it with, right? This is the most common type of access control we see in everyday systems like Windows or macOS. The key word here is discretion. If you create a document, you are the owner. You can then grant read, write, or even execute permissions to other users or groups. This makes it super adaptable for most everyday use cases where granular, system-imposed security isn't the primary concern. It's all about giving control to the people who create and manage the data. Ever shared a Google Doc with a colleague, giving them view only or can edit access? That's DAC in action. You, as the owner of that document, are making the discretionary decision about who can do what with it. It's incredibly intuitive for most collaborative environments where trust is established among users. Now, to understand how these models work, we often visualize them using an access control matrix or ACM. Imagine a grid or a table. On one side, you have your subjects. These are the entities trying to access something, like users or programs. On the other side, you have your objects. These are the resources, like files, folders, or applications. The cells in the matrix tell you what actions a specific subject can perform on a specific object. Let's look at a simple ACM. If ACLs is a subject and report.docx is an object, an entry might say ACLs can read and write report.docx. Another might say Bob can only read report.docx. Or even Charlie has no access to report.docx. It's a very direct way to map out who can do what to whom. Access control lists, or ACLs, are a very common way to implement the ideas from an ACM. Instead of the whole matrix, an ACL is typically attached to an object like a file. This list contains entries for each subject, user or group, and specifies what they are allowed to do with that specific object. Think of it as the permission slip attached to the file itself. So, when you right-click on a file in Windows and go to Properties then Security, you are looking at an ACL. It shows you which users or groups have permissions like full control, modify, read and execute, read or write. The operating system checks this list every time someone tries to access that file. It's easy to confuse ACMs and ACLs. The ACM is the conceptual model, the entire grid showing all possible interactions. An ACL is a practical implementation, often associated with an object, listing the subjects and their rights * for that object star. So, an ACL is like a column from the ACM, but focused on a specific resource. There's another way to represent access rights, and that's with capability lists. Instead of attaching a list of who can do what * to the object * like an ACL, a capability list is associated * with the subject * the user. It's like a ticket or a key that the user possesses, proving they have permission to access a specific resource. The system checks the user's ticket to grant access. Think of it this way, an ACL says, this file can be read by ACLs. A capability list says, ACLs has the ability to read this file. It's a different perspective, and while ACLs are more common in general-purpose operating systems, capability lists can be found in certain specialized systems. They offer a different way to manage and verify access. So, when do we use MAC and when do we use DAC? MAC is for environments where the system must strictly enforce security classifications, regardless of user or owner preferences. Think government, military, or highly sensitive research. DAC is more for general-purpose systems, collaboration tools, and personal computing where flexibility and ease of use are key, and the owner can be trusted to manage permissions. It's not always an either-or situation. Many systems use a combination of access control models. For instance, an operating system might use DAC for user files, but employ MAC principles for core system files to ensure its own integrity. Understanding these different models helps us design more robust and appropriate security for any given system. To wrap up this section, remember the two fundamental goals of access control: confidentiality, keeping data secret from unauthorized eyes, and integrity, ensuring that data remains accurate and unaltered. These are the bedrock principles that all the models we discussed aim to achieve. For MAC, the big ideas are enforced by the system, not the owner, uses security labels and classifications, and is ideal for environments with strict, hierarchical security requirements. It's about the system making the tough decisions to keep things safe. With DAC, remember, the owner has discretion, it's flexible and widely used, and it's great for everyday collaboration and personal file sharing. It puts the power of permission management directly into the hands of the user. The Access Control Matrix, ACM, is our conceptual grid, and access control lists, ACLs, are a common, practical way to implement those permissions, usually attached to the resource. Think of ACLs as the operational footprint of the ACM. Capability lists offer a subject-centric view, where the user carries proof of their access. It's like a digital key that grants specific privileges, rather than a list on the resource saying who can use it. Understanding these models isn't just academic. In real-world scenarios, choosing the right access control model can mean the difference between a secure system and a major breach. From protecting national secrets to sharing family photos, these principles are at play everywhere. When you are designing systems or thinking about security, always consider the sensitivity of the data and the environment. Do you need the rigid, system-enforced security of Mac, or the flexibility and ease of management offered by DAC? Sometimes, a blend is the answer. Mac offers high security but can be complex to manage and less flexible. DAC is flexible and easier to manage for everyday users but can be less secure if not configured carefully, as owners might grant excessive permissions. It's always a balance. While we've talked about the models, how they're actually implemented can vary. Operating systems, applications, and even cloud services will have their own ways of managing these. The core principles, however, remain the same. So, Mac, think government, military, strict hierarchies. It's all about system-level labels and mandatory clearance. No exceptions. And DAC, think your personal files, shared documents, general office use. It's owner-controlled, flexible, and powers most of our daily digital interactions. The ACM is the master blueprint of all possible access relationships, and ACLs are like detailed maps for specific resources, guiding who can go where and do what. Capability lists are like a personalized key, proving your right to access something, rather than a list on the object saying you are allowed. Understanding these foundational access control models is crucial as we move into more complex IAM topics. Next time, we'll build on this knowledge as we explore other aspects of identity and access management. Keep those questions coming. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the CyberXplain channel. See you on the next video.